Hello, my name is Jessica and I'm from the Chesterfield Museum. Today I'm going to be showing you one of our memory boxes. Today's memory box is all about holidays and we are revisiting memories about trips we have had to the seaside and abroad. Memories are so important because they help make us who we are, and our memory boxes are a wonderful way of reminding people about the past. They cover a wide range of topics and they can really help engage, support and share those special memories. The objects in the memory boxes can help people rekindle old memories and help them open up about their lives. Throughout the video I will be asking questions about some of the objects in this memory box, so please feel free to pause the video at any time and have a chat about what memories the objects may ignite. The first object in today's memory box is this Thermos Flask. This style of flask was popular in the 60s and 70s, but thermos flasks were an essential from the 30s up to the present. Picnics were an essential part of a big day out to the seaside or wherever you would go. If you were going on a trip out for the day on a bus or a train, a flask and sandwiches were packed up to be enjoyed at some part of the day. Up until the 1950s, flasks tended to be made from metal. So this plastic one is a more recent version. Taking a flask like this on a long train journey is a really good idea, so you can have a drink and not have to pay the expensive prices on trains. A thermos flask like this one could keep your hot tea or coffee warm for hours on end, so you could enjoy a hot drink at any time during the day. Did you have a flask like this one? Can you remember going for a picnic and taking a flask? Can you remember going for a day trip, maybe on a bus or a train, and taking a flask of hot drink with you? The next item in the memory box is this camera. This camera is called a Kershaw 110. It is a basic but well-made folding camera made by GB Kershaw of Leeds in England. This camera was introduced in 1954. To work the camera, you press this button here and the lens pops out. You then press this button here to take the picture. You can also see there is a choice of aperture, which is f11 or f16. Once you have taken a picture, you then have to wind up the film like this. Here is a photograph from the 1950s that could have been taken on a camera like this one. This photo is of 4 women from Chesterfield all enjoying a very tasty ice cream. They are on a day trip out to Monsall Head. This photo was taken on Blackpool beach and you can see the Blackpool Tower in the background. Again, this photo was from the 1950s, so a camera like this could have been used to take it. Did you ever have a camera that you took on holiday with you? Do you still have any holiday snaps? Can you remember getting the photographs developed and then putting them into an album once you got home? The next items from the memory box are these postcards. Before the advent of social media and email and mobile phones, nobody went on holiday without sending postcards to their family and friends. Postcards were quite varied, and some were really nice views of where you were staying, and sometimes you could get funny ones that were really corny and sometimes a little bit rude. Quite often you could spend half a day on your holiday set aside to find the perfect postcard and to write it to your friends. And you could never forget your address book, so you could make sure you could send one to everybody. Once your postcards were sent and on their way, you could sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of your holiday. These Spanish postcards are really beautiful and have these hand-stitched details on the postcard itself. They would actually be a really nice thing for your friends and family to receive and to keep hold of. On the postcard, you would most likely mention the weather and what a nice time you were having on your holiday. Did you enjoy sending postcards? Did you like the postcards with nice views, or did you like the ones with the funny jokes? Did you ever save postcards from friends and family that they sent to you when they were on holiday? The next item from the memory box is this really tiny badge that is from Butlins. Butlins holidays were very popular during the 50s and early 60s. The camp at Skegness was actually the first to open in 1936. Butlins holidays offered entertainment for the whole family for the equivalent of about a week's pay. This was the time when paid holidays were increasing and more people could afford to go on little breaks and holidays away. When you arrived at Butlins, each camper was issued with an enamel badge like this one to wear for the duration of their holiday. These badges were issued every year from the first season in Skegness in 1936 until 1967 when they were discontinued. So you could get a different badge for every year that you went. This badge is from 1957. The camps were really exciting for children as they had swimming pools, different rides and games to play. There was a beaver club for children and every morning you were woken up to the sound of Butlins radio. Guests would stay in little chalets that were very clean and modern and all identical. Did you ever have a holiday at Butlins? Did you go to the one at Skegness? Can you remember receiving a Butlins badge like this one or a different design? The next items from the memory box are these badges. Badge collecting was very popular with children in the 1950s. If you went somewhere for the day or on holiday, a badge was an affordable thing to buy and pin it on your blazer or jumper, and it would have made a really nice memento to take home. These are metal badges, but cloth patches were popular too, the kind that you would sew on. People would collect them and maybe sew them onto a duffel bag. It was a nice way to look back at all the places you had visited and where you had been. Did you collect badges when you were younger? Can you remember buying a badge from a holiday or a trip away? Did you like the metal badges like this, or did you prefer the cloth patches that you could sew on? The last thing from today's memory box is this leaflet that is all about the excursion train to Bridlington from Chesterfield. In the holiday season, special trains would run to towns on the coast to take people out for the day. This one is to Bridlington, and you can see it was on Easter Sunday, April the 21st, 1957. Until paid holidays and annual leave became common in workplaces, most people just went to places for the day, rather than for a few days or a week. Big factories would shut down altogether for 1 or 2 weeks in the summer, so popular holiday destinations which were accessible became really busy during this time. For people of Chesterfield, you would mostly go to Skegness, Cleethorpes, Mablethorpe, or even Scarborough or Blackpool if you were feeling more adventurous. So you can see here that the train would leave Chesterfield at 10, arrive in Bridlington at 1:15. You would then depart from Bridlington at 6:40. You wouldn't get all that long there, but it was probably enough time to dip your toes into the sea and maybe have an ice cream. Can you remember going on a train to the seaside? Which town did you go to? Have you ever been to Skegness? Can you remember it being really exciting to catch the train? Which station would you catch the train from? That brings us to the end of this memory box video. Thank you for looking through these items with me, and I hope they encourage some interesting conversations. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.